Well, as you know, Mr. Beach is out bottle hunting. Now, what do you think would be the ideal thing for Mr. Beach to find whilst he's out bottle hunting under lockdown during a COVID crisis? How about a metal detector? I've got the whole thing. Jesus Christ. It's a C-scope one as well.
The dilemma I have, that's the one I fitted yesterday, and that's what the other one looks like, and this is the on-off. That's the discrimination. But what I got sent was two of these, so I've got two discrimination controls, but I don't really want two discrimination controls. I need an on-off sensitivity one as well. There's no click on these, they just seem to be permanently on. It's the same with this one as well that I fitted yesterday. There's not an off, so we'll have to see about what we can get for that and try and sort that out, but I'll get onto it. Okay, well I thought today we'd have a go at the earphone socket, see if we can remove that. Whether this is going to come off or not, I don't know. Yeah, the whole sealer, the whole thing's spinning, and that's what I had with that one I was doing yesterday. I think these are absolutely caked on. It's going to be very, very difficult to get them off. I'll try and just get rid of some of this crud so we can see a bit more what we're dealing with, but it's not looking good. So if I go digging inside the earphone socket, you can see how much rubbish comes out. This is going to be very, very difficult to get off. I don't think the earphone socket, oh, it does come with another nut, so that might be our saving grace. But whether or not I can get that out of there, I don't know. I might have to quickly make a note of the terminals in case I accidentally pull a wire off. But even that looks different to what I've got. So I've got 5 terminals. Yeah, this has got 5, but they're spaced out. Oh joy. So that'll be in there like so. 1. Yeah, slightly different. Okay, that's something else we'll have to look at as well. Right, let me see if we can get this loose. Well, I think I managed to get it loose by holding the other side, and it's actually coming off. Yep, we've got that. This may look heavy-handed to some people who are watching this, but at the end of the day, everyone works in a different way. You know, and what works for one might not work for the other. There we are. One disassembled switch. Now, this is going to be interesting because I've got different connections on here to there. And I don't know. Right, let me open this up and I'll show you the different connections. Right, so as you know, we've got a new jack socket that doesn't bear any resemblance to what we've got. So if you don't know the pinouts on a jack socket, what you can do is get yourself the corresponding jack plug, and you can see on this one you have got the positive pin, which is connected to this point here, and then you've got the ground which is connected to this point here, and I can show you that now. So if I connect onto the long ground bit and then blip on this bit here, continuity, but nothing on this end pin. Likewise, if I connect onto the pin here that could go into the end, continuity there, but nothing in here. So if we plug this into here, and again repeat this on here on the ground, we can establish which of these pins is the ground. Okay, so that first one is, that one isn't, that one isn't, that one is, that one isn't. So pin 1, no, pin 1 and pin 4 are ground. So let's just make a note of that. So that's GND. Now if we repeat this again with the centre pin, notice that our grounds are not making a noise this time. So pin 2, so pin 2 is the, I think they call it the hot, but it's the basically the centre pin, centre of jack. Okay. Right, and then we've got one more to find. Right, well I've been sitting here with a multimeter trying to work out how this headphone jack works with 5 pins with a slightly different layout to the other one. As you can see here, we've got 1, 3, 5, 2 and 4, and over here we've got 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there and 1 there. It's a different layout, so I've got to try and work it out. Well, I think I've grasped it. I've been using my what's called helping hands tool, my multimeter and a couple of test leads. Let me set up and I'll show you what I've found. Right, I've rigged up a couple of test pins on pin 2 and pin 5, and if you listen, when I connect the probes, we should have continuity between these twos, and it'll be a buzzer which tells you they're coming on. Yep, there you go. Now if I plug this jack socket in, watch what happens. Continuity between those 2 pins disappears. Take it out again. So pins 2 and pins 5 are joined together before we put our headphones in. As soon as we put our headphones in, they're not joined. So one of those pins is fundamental in the operation of this headphone jack. Okay, so if we now take that out and put the headphone socket back in, on a headphone socket you've got a centre pin which you put a wire on here, and then you've got this other one here which is the negative part, the centre pin's the positive. So if we probe around now, we can find out where the centre pin of this device has gone into. So it's not on pin 1, pin 2 it's on, pin 3, pin 4, pin 5. So pin 2, once you put the headphone socket in, that is then taking the signal out of this device to the headphones. But when we disconnect it, it then connects itself back to pin 5. So a wire needs to be on pin 2, because when there's no headphone jack in, it's feeding a signal to pin 5. As soon as you put the headphone jack in, it stops feeding pin 5, as you can see if I touch them both together now. No continuity, it's broken. But pin 2 is now connected to the centre of the headphone jack. Likewise, if we connect the negative of the headphone jack, we got it on pin 1, pin 4 and pin 5. So that's with the headphone jack connected, the negatives part of the signal is pin 1 and pin 4. Okay, so take that out. Which pins have we got continuity with 1 now? Not pin 4. So just that one. So what about with pin 4 now? Pin 3. So let's try the connectors on pin 3 and 4. Then we put the headphone jack in. See if we lose the signal. If you notice though, pin 4 is registering with both the headphone jack connected and not connected. So again, that would seem to be a crucial feeder, which would indicate again that we would need to have a wire on pin 4. So let me just connect this on here. Oh, the wire's just fallen off of the jack. I can see it there. Hold on. Right, so we've got connection there. We put the headphone jack in, disappears, pull it out again, connection. So again, the key one here is pin 4, because pin 4 is connected to the negative of the jack socket. Pull it out, and then it's connected to pin 3. Push it in, it disconnects from pin 3 and just connects to pin 4. And we know it's connected to pin 4 because if we disconnect all of these and I go back onto the negative part of the jack socket, pin 4 gives me the connection. So we've got pin 2 and pin 4, which are crucial, and then the other one we need is pin 5, because again there was connections and non-connections there, and one needs to go out to the loudspeaker. Now as the centre tip of the jack socket coming in is going to pins 2 and 5, which is here. No, it wasn't 2 and 4. Oh, I've still got it connected. Hang on. Right, with it not connected. Okay, so there's a connection there. So if you've got a wire on 2 and you've got a wire on 4, you've got a connection. Break that connection off of pin 5. It takes the sound from the loudspeaker. Okay, and then in theory it will feed it up the jack plug to your earphones. Take the jack plug out, it will reconnect pin 2 to pin 5 and go off to the loudspeaker. So on the printed circuit boards where I've got audio negative, loudspeaker and HP, which is headphones, now you can see how that's all working. So the HP signal needs to go to pin 2, loudspeaker needs to go to pin 5, and the audio negative needs to go to pin 4. Sorted. And if you can follow that, well done. But I do actually think now I've got my head round it. Okay, so I'm going to desolder these wires. And see if we can get these off. Get the control box out of the way, try not to burn through the wires. Cool, all my fingers. Do you know what? I'm going to go a different way with this. These connections are probably knackered anyway. There. Let's remove that, right? So this up here for the time being. Right, that's got that one done. Let's start with brand new fresh connection, shall we? We can tin these up. Get these out of the way. I'm in trouble doing that one. No, it doesn't seem to want to come off. Hang on. Something with me little snippers there. That's got it. What they're doing. Right, that one looks a bit long. Trim that down a bit. Right, so we've got some nice new connections there. So I'll quickly drop that into there. So that looks nice. And we will tin that up. Okay, that's one tinned. The reason I'm tinning these, it's called tinning, is because I put a blob of solder onto the wire. Then when you go to add this onto the actual terminal itself, it's got a good amount of solder on it. I've got too much, far too much solder on the iron there. It's got it. Right. And last, but not least, is that one. Let's angle that over a bit. Yeah. Okay. Right, so the wires are all ready to go. Now we've got to get the switch. Oh, before I do that, because of the proximity of the pins, I'm going to put some heat shrink on. I'll show you what this is later. So that's the purple one, the white one, and the grey one. Because what I don't want to do is get any risk of these pins touching and shorting out, so we will, because they're kind of, oh blimey, they are quite close, aren't they? Right, let's think how we're going to do this. It's going to be tight. I might have to tin these up off camera because this might take me a while. Right, give me 5. I'm going to tin the terminals on here. Right, I've got two of the wires soldered on. This one here is a bit short. I've got to try and work out how to get this old knackered. Oh, it just slides out. Look at the state of that. Right, so again, I'm not messing about. I'll just cut the terminals off. Right, so again, I'm not messing about. I'm just going to cut the terminals off. I'll just get some scissors. Right, well, it just so happens amongst me bits and pieces I've got some new wire, so that little tiny bit on that speaker there I'm gonna leave. So let's have a look at the new speaker. So as you can see, compared to the old one, quite a bit of difference. So I've got to put some, by the looks of it, on there. I don't know, where am I soldering on to? I think onto there by the looks of it. Right, so let me tin this speaker up. God, I haven't got exactly a lot of room here. Let's turn this round. Clean the iron. Oh, I hate working in a mess. Where's the solder gone? Try not to burn through me elite. Right, it's tinned up nicely. Right. Okay, so we've tinned the speaker now across the two terminals. So I can now add this lead on here. Shut the terminal down a bit. This is the replacement for the little short one. What's on there? Always do the tug test, then you know your leads are not coming off. Then we've got to solder this grey one onto there as well. Now, this white one needs to have the heat shrink on it because it's going to this switch on position 5. However, I think I'm going to try and clean out a bit more of that box at the moment, because if I put a new speaker down in there, you can see there's all lumps of God knows what in there. So let me pause the video. I'm going to see if I've got any furniture polish anywhere. I might try some of that on the inside and see if that does it. Right, I've gone and got a little paintbrush. See if we can get some of that out. It's not moving, is it? The obviously putting a new speaker in, I don't want to put the speaker in and then have it sitting in all dirt and God knows what and crap and stuff, but unfortunately it does appear that oh, this speaker thing does have grills going to the outside. Right, let's see if we can find my pointy thing, which is here, because we're probably going to have to see if we can pop them out, because otherwise we're not going to get any sound coming out the speaker. But I can't even see where they actually are. They're like lines in the plastic, and they are cakes. Let's try a bit of the old polish. See if we can just see what we're actually doing then. Cool, like that smells nice. Oh, it's cleaned it up quite well. Hope you approve of my polishing. I might do the whole of the inside of the case with that. Yeah, now let's break it up like new. Right, give me 5. I'm going to have a quick polish. Right, well, let's add a little clean up. Let's remove sort of half the beach out of it. Let me just get rid of this. I don't want this all over my workbench. So, it can all go over there. Put down another bit of kitchen roll. Still got my soldering iron on at the moment. Right, well, let's position you there. I've had a little clean up in there. As you can see, that's come up quite nicely now. So we could potentially drop the speaker into its opening. Push that down in. Ah, that's interesting. Maybe that was glued in then. Oh, I see, the case holds it in. Okay. Right, so that's in. So we've got this wire here now. To connect to the speaker. So we want ideally that one on there. I've got to be careful how I hold this or I'm going to end up damaging it. Probably could hold it by that. I can't get this board over here. Hold on. That's the only thing when you're trying to do repairs and things, it's trying to get the wires so you can get them where you need them. Right, I reckon I can do that. Let me get some solder on the iron. Oh, now the wire's disappeared again. This is when you have to be double jointed as well, because you have to be quite candid to do all this soldering and not burn the other bits and pieces. Come on. Shit. Right on my hands. I was very refrained then. That was hot. Right, that is on. Cool. You see my finger's gone white there? I'll give you a tip. Don't touch a hot soldering iron onto your hands. That's going to be a nice burn. Right, now we've got this wire left, which has got to go onto the jack socket. And for this one, I'm not going to burn myself. I'm going to get my helping hands on the go. So, these two come out the way. Now the question is, have I soldered these on the right? Yeah, that's 4. So it's got to go on to 5. So this wire here has got to go onto that terminal there. And the way to do that, let's put that in there. Hence why these things are called helping hands. Right, here we go. And they're on. Right, now, while that's in the vise, we're going to slide over these bits of heat shrink. Let me just go and get the hop. For those of you who don't know what heat shrink is, what it basically does is exactly what it says. You put heat on it and it shrinks. So what it should do is wrap itself around this terminal and allow us to make a really good seal over that crimp. There you go, it's shrinking already. Right, that's one done. Let's get the other one up. You've got to be careful though, you don't mount the wires, so I might do this other speaker one at the same time. Go. One on there, one there. That's good. How does that look? Yep, perfect. Right. It's the little details that finish off your jobs nicely. Now that I know now, I've got no worry of any items touching together. Just cool that, blimey, that's hot. I'm going to let that cool down for a minute. Okay, so there we have one finished item with all the nicely finished parts. So now we can get this in the box, tighten this up, and that can be considered done. Okay, so I've fitted the new jack socket in. That's now, I don't think you can see that there actually. That's now in position here where my thumb is. And you can see that sticking out the front there, and takes a jack socket and works, so that's good. So I think we'll leave it there for today. I think that's a long enough video, and we'll continue with another round. Hope you're enjoying this. We're almost there.